Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk about cryptocurrencies. We're going to answer a question that over the last couple of weeks people have just been literally flooding my inbox, my messenger, my Instagram, even on TikTok, just having a lot of questions about cryptocurrency and should they put their money in Bitcoin. So there's a very simple way to still be a part but not have any risk, and we're going to talk about that today. Now, if you're new to this channel, feel free to like and subscribe. On this channel, I like to talk about money, we like to talk about investing, we like to talk about finance, but we like to talk about it in a way that you can succeed whether you have money or if you don't have a lot of money. So we're not talking about emotion. So we're talking about putting your mind and your money together to make it work for you. So one of the biggest questions has been, should I put money into Bitcoin and how do I do it? Well, we're going to talk about, should you put money into Bitcoin or into cryptocurrency in general. Now, if you've been watching Bitcoin, one of the things that you also have to understand is that when you start to hear more and more and more about, a thing like Bitcoin, this is not the first time this has happened, but there was some years ago where Bitcoin reached a high of like $20,000 and everybody was talking about it. So once you start to hear everybody talking about Bitcoin and putting their money into cryptocurrencies, people who normally don't ever say anything about finances ever start to talk about it, a lot of times there's kind of like hold up, like kind of a check, because what that means is you may start to see where you're going to have a lot of people put money in and then you're going to see it drop off. So that's something that we actually just seen last week and then this week, where Bitcoin had got as high as $41,000. Like that's the last high that I know. It was like $41,000, a little bit more than $41,000. And now it's dropped all the way down to about $34,000, $35,000, $33,000. And so for people who may have put money into it when it was at $41,000, they've seen that money kind of die down. So now let's understand that with cryptocurrencies, is something that I don't think anybody knows everything about, because it's such a different dynamic and it's something new to not just the American system, but to the world systems. And there's so many different facets and things going on. Like you have your most popular, which is Bitcoin, and then you have other altcoins and other platforms and like cryptocurrency mining, Bitcoin mining. You have all these different things where you, for example, like with Bitcoin, there's a limited amount. So it's very different and it's new. So for everyone that's wondering if it's worth the time, let me just answer that question, right now. Is it worth the time to even learn and to put money into it? The answer is actually yes, it is. Now pay attention to what I said. Is that now the time to learn and put money in? I never suggest people should do, or people should put money into anything that they're not learning about, or they're not at least have some type of understanding or some type of hedge around their risk. So here's the thing, you want to be careful because you don't know what will happen with Bitcoin or with cryptocurrencies. Now wait, hold on. For all those crypto maniacs out there, before you start getting in the comments and talking about, well, we do know where it's going. It's going to go to 100,000. It's going to go to 200,000. Yeah, we know, but that's not what I'm talking about. Now understand that cryptocurrencies had started off as a currency. And so that's a little bit different than the way a lot of people are doing it now. Most people are trying to trade it and calling it like more of an investment than anything. So with that means that it kind of switches the way that things go, because it's extremely volatile, it's not stable. It can be up high one day and be low one day. Like in the last 12 months, or like in 2020, Bitcoin was as low as like $5,000 and $6,000. And then you've seen it like in 2021 where it hit its high of like a little bit more than $41,000. And that is an insane swing. So if you put money in as you've seen it going down, or if it was that low, then you've seen a significant amount of increase to your money just in a matter of, about 12 months or a little less, depending on when you invested in it. So that dynamic creates all of this volatility where it's not like a one-off or one-on-one where like your $1 is worth $1 of Bitcoin. Is not the case. So that causes a little bit of confusion around exactly how will it be used, how can it be transferred, how can we pay for things like that when you have such a wide range of fluctuation with the actual prices. So with that alone brings an enormous amount of uncertainty and not really knowing how things are going to go with the government getting involved, as we just seen the government get involved, and for a brief moment you had XRP, you had Ripple XRP, you have that actually halted to where you couldn't put money in, you couldn't take money out, you couldn't trade it, based around these guidelines of them filing these suits against the Ripple. So the thing is that cryptocurrency will be somehow a part, and might be even a significant part to our our financial systems that we just really don't understand now. And so you have just about every single world government that is trying to get their hands in and put regulations in and trying to position things financially about that, especially because of course governments want to make sure that they're benefiting way before you do. So they'll come in, they'll do all these regulations, they'll do all these things, and they'll make it so that you have different guidelines to follow and things like that. Like if you remember years ago, they've made all these different companies like Coinbase make sure they're doing their reporting, so that way people aren't just getting away from paying taxes. So now for everyone that's saying, I'm not into all that stuff, I don't got time to be learning about that stuff, and I don't care about all that stuff. Okay, fine. You don't learn about it, but it might be worth you taking the time to learn about it. Don't get stuck in time and get stuck behind things just because it seems like you can't understand it. It's just that it takes time to understand or to learn about things. So take the time and start learning about things now, because when things kind of start, I guess you could say there's more heat to it, and depending on how things can go, at least you'll be positioned to understand whatever is going on and what's happening, versus being that person that when something's happening and now you're like knocking everybody's door down trying to figure out like, can you show me how to do this? No, start learning right now. So it doesn't take a lot. You can just learn a little bit, if not every day, or just learn a little bit, every week or once a month. Just do some research around it so you're getting more understanding about what's going on and what's happening with it, because this could actually really affect our financial systems in so many different ways. Even if you weren't investing in it, even if you weren't investing in Bitcoin, but because it exists, or the cryptocurrency space exists, it can also control some of the dynamics in our financial institutions, and with different interest rates and so many different things that could happen just because of this new dynamic that exists. It never hurts to be prepared, but it definitely hurts when you have to react to stuff all the time. So we want to be prepared, and we want to take the time to learn. So like I said, learn a little bit about it as much as you can. Now you can feel free to join like one of my free investing groups that I have the links down in the description, and we're starting to unpack those things here and there, getting information out, and just kind of tackling that as one of the objectives, because people are really trying to learn how to do it. And it's better for you to be prepared than to not be prepared. So this is how you want to invest in any cryptocurrencies, any altcoins, or anything like that. If you're investing in this, you definitely don't want to be doing what some people have done and they've gotten hurt behind it, which is just investing their house, like just betting the house against it. No, what you want to do is you want to establish an amount that you are okay with investing, and that if you lost money, you're not going to be upset. All right, so don't invest things that you need right now. Like let's just use $100 for example. So if all you guys are $100 and you need that $100 and you're afraid to lose that $100, then don't put that money into cryptocurrency. But if you have $20 and you're not afraid to lose that $20, that means that you're okay, that if it goes down, you'll be all right. Then you can take that $20 and invest into it. And what you would do is you could just set up, if it's just every time you get paid, or whatever you choose to do, what amount that you choose to put into it, you can do that. You can put some money into it. You can do it consistently, or you can do it one time, whatever you choose. But don't invest something that you're not afraid to lose, which is definitely just a simple rule of thumb when it concerns, investing and trading into things anyway. But the more and more you start to learn about stuff, and the more and more you start to learn how to increase your money that you're putting, investing or saving, or whatever it is that you choose to do with it. But if we're just talking about cryptocurrencies, only invest where you're not afraid to lose. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to caution you to be careful and be wary of a lot of the conversation where there's just a lot of hype. When there's a lot of hype conversations, be careful, because that's a good way for you to get hurt. So yes, we do know that cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin and Ethereum and all these other different coins and all these other different facets that, one day they're definitely going to go up more and more and more. It's pretty much inevitable that that's going to happen. However, I don't think there's really a rush to like, oh, you got to do this now, or you got to do this now. Like, take your time and learn so that way that you're not putting yourself in a dangerous position. Because if you're someone that you said let's say Bitcoin was just, $41,000 and you put a significant amount of money in, it just retracted. So that means that significant amount of money you would have lost. Now, when will it ever get back to 41,000? It could be tomorrow, or it could be next year. We don't know. So you always want to be careful that you don't let hype push you and you make these emotional decisions, and then you find yourself in a position where you're just frustrated or you lost money and you don't know what to do. Anyways, guys, I hope this has been helpful, for you to just take some simple steps to learn, to just try to understand a little bit about, how it works. Research whatever facet. So if you're researching and you're learning and you come across a word that you don't understand, pause. And all you have to do is just Google and say, well, what does this word mean? And then once you learn what it means, then you come back and then you continue your learning. And then you're able to also put money in that you're not afraid to lose. Because we don't know the time or the year, but we do know governments and different things are working to try to put some stuff around this. We don't know what more dynamics that blockchain and all these different things are going to have in the coming years. But what we do know is that at some point in time and at somewhere in one of these years, it's going to become a little bit more dominant, and it may have a little bit more effect, even if you're not seeing it in your face. But where you keep your money and how you invest your money, it still could affect those things as well. But anyways, guys, hope this has answered some questions for some of the people. Like, yes, it's okay to invest, but just be careful. But other than that, you guys have a good one, and we'll definitely have to talk more about this cryptocurrency space. And you guys enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.